video is a request from some ladies out there. They want me to do a video for them to know whether the gentleman in their life loves them or not. They are currently confused about their relationship and they want to know if the man in their lives truly loves them or they don't love them. In this video, I am going to show you some signs that you can use to determine and know if the gentleman in your life loves you or he doesn't love you again. For you to know if the gentleman in your life loves you or doesn't love you again, the first sign is lack of communication. I believe the first time he met you, he was talking to you all the time. I believe he was calling you in the mornings, in the afternoons, and in the evening. All the time, he will call you and would like to know how you are faring. How is he communicating with you now? Is he calling you often like he used to call you? Is he checking on you and knowing how you are faring? The success of every relationship is based on effective communication. If you realize that he doesn't even feel like communicating with you, he doesn't feel like coming closer to you, then this relationship is really shaking and you have to really check on it. 2. He gives you unnecessary excuses just to avoid you. If a man doesn't love you anymore, he always gives you excuses just to avoid you. Anytime you call him that you want to come to him, he is always giving you excuses like, I am busy, I am not around, I don't feel like seeing you, come later, and so on and so forth. If you realize that he's always giving you excuse upon excuse just to avoid you from seeing him, then it can be he really doesn't love you again. Because if you truly love somebody, you will always love to see the person, you will always love to communicate with the person. Anytime you see the person, you are so happy and your desire is to always be with the person. But if you realize that anytime you call him that you want to see him, he's always giving you excuse just to avoid you from seeing him, then it means he really doesn't want you in his life. 3. He gets angry with no definite reason. Always he is getting angry with you. Any little thing, he always gets angry with you. Anything that even doesn't warrant him to be angry, he's always angry. If the man in your life always gets angry with you all the time, he's always picking quarrels with you and he's always making you feel sad, then you should know that he is no more interested in you. Because if you truly love somebody, your joy is to make the person happy. You will not unnecessarily pick quarrels with such a person. So, if your man is always picking quarrels with you and always getting angry with you, then you should know that this relationship is really shaking and there is a tendency that he doesn't love you. 4. He gives you little or no attention. How is your man attending to you? Is he there for you? When you need him, is he always available and readily available to meet you or to see you? If you notice that he is always not there for you, if you realize that anytime you want to see him, he is not there, he doesn't give you the necessary attention that you desire, then you should know that this relationship is shaking. I believe the first time you met him, he was all around you. He was always giving you that attention. Anytime you need him, he's always available to be by your side. How is he giving you attention now? If you realize that anytime you want to see him or you want him to come around to you and he is not always available, he is not there for you, then you should know that this relationship is shaking and he doesn't really love to be with you again. 5. He keeps secrets from you. If he doesn't want you to know the happiness in his life, then there is a tendency that he doesn't want to factor you in his future. Because if a man is really interested in you and his desire is to settle with you and be with you, he will always let you know things about him. Any action and any plans he is taking, he will have to share with you. He will make you the number one person in his life, whereby he will always love to share ideas with. But if you realize that he doesn't tell you anything about him, you will see him embarking on certain projects and doing certain things, but you have no idea about it, then you should know that this man has not really factored you in his life, and there is a tendency that he is no more interested in you. 6. He stopped saying loving words to you. I believe from the beginning of the relationship, he was always saying some loving words to you. He was using so much sweet words on you. And I know he really had a pet name for you. I believe he was even calling you babe, sweetheart, darling, honey, and so on and so forth. How is he calling you now? Is he using those loving words on you now? Or he has stopped saying those loving and romantic words to you? If you notice that he doesn't want to use those loving words on you again, then you should know that he really doesn't want to be with you anymore. 7. He doesn't care about your feelings. If a man is no more interested in you, he doesn't care anything about you again. If you are not feeling fine or if you are not feeling fit, he doesn't really care. You are not on his mind for him to care about your feelings. So if you realize that there are sensitive things happening to you and he seems not to care about it, it is not his desire to even inquire about you, how you are faring and how the day has been for you, then you should know that this man is really not into you again. Because if you truly love somebody and care about the person, you always want to know what is happening to the person. You always want to share ideas with her. But if you realize that he doesn't even care to know what is happening to you, then you should know that he is no more interested in you. 8. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you in public. Yes, if a man truly loves you, he really wants to project you in public. He wants the whole world to know how precious he is of you. He will let everybody know how he adores you. But if you realize that he doesn't want people to know about you, maybe, for instance, when you go outing and he doesn't feel comfortable introducing you to other people or telling them that you are his girlfriend, then you should know that he is really not into you and he is not really interested in you. Because if he really loves you, he will love the whole world to know how he cherishes you. 9. He is always rude with his words to you. How is he talking to you? Is he very rude to you? Does he talk harshly on you? Does he say hurtful words to you all the time? If all these signs begin to display in your relationship, you should know that the man is not really into you again and he doesn't really love you again. Because if he really loves you, he will be so kind with his words to you. He will not be so harsh to you. He will not say words that will pain you, and you will always be careful with the choice of words he uses on you. But if he just talks to you anyhow, he says things to hurt you, then you should know that he is really not interested in you. 10. He begins to compare you with other women. When your man begins comparing you with other women, especially his ex, then you should know that he is no more interested in you. As soon as you realize that he is always comparing you with other women, he is always talking about his ex in your presence and always compare you with his ex, then you should know that this relationship is at the verge of breakup. He really doesn't love you, because if he loves you, the last thing that he will do is to compare you with other women. So if you start seeing him doing that, you should really advise yourself and know that this man really doesn't love you. So my dear ladies out there, I have given you 10 signs. So begin to sit down and analyze and reflect on your relationship. If you see any of these signs showing up in your relationship, you should really know that the man in your life really doesn't love you again. So it's better you sit him down and ask him to tell you the position of this relationship. If you are very convinced with the answer he gives you, fine. But if you are not convinced with the answer he gives you, I will advise you to reflect on the whole issue. If you think it's not really working out for you, just leave the relationship and move on with your life, because there are great people out there who will really love you, cherish you, and take you at heart. I leave you with peace. I leave you with joy. Stay blessed and stay safe.